Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name, as always, is Bloodstained Wings, and I have been inspired by a new, to me, not new in general, but new to me, art genre, I guess it is. I'm not entirely sure what to call it, except that it's called Mannerism. It is definitely new to me, though. It's from like the 16-ish century, 16th-ish, 15-ish, in and around there. They have a lot of these like black and white prints with some very designs, abstract designs that are very reminiscent of Art Nouveau, but are before Art Nouveau, significantly before it. Anyway, I don't know a whole lot about art history, because I never studied art in school, but here is my painting. Why is the camera so very, very not straight? Let's see if we can fix that. Well, doesn't that seem just a little bit better? We're a little jingly, but there it is. So I started this painting with a sketch of the background, and I didn't realize that I had actually painted the foreground painting, which is all of the sorry, my cat is playing with the camera now. But all of the color that you see, I didn't realize I painted that part upside down until afterwards, but that's okay. I think it gives it a unique flavor, different to the original artwork. The original artwork inspired the background, but it's not exactly the same as the background. And inside of that diamond, there was a black and white image as part of the Mannerisms drawing, and I thought it would just look really cool with a different painting on the inside, hence my painting here. So I did start the sketch on the outside, already done in in gesso. My cat is distracting me heavily right now. Yes, cat. Very much cat distraction currently. Welcome to my life. Her name is Tourmaline, by the way. I did do a painting of her, so if you'd like to see a painting of Tourmaline here, please feel free to check out one of the videos in the description. I'll try to make sure I link. Anywho, let's get to painting, shall we? Bye! Hello. Okay. I am gonna try to do this, and I don't know how well it's gonna go, but we're gonna do our best. So I have been, I'm talking in the intro about all the things that I have been influenced by to make this painting. Hopefully I did a great job. Here's hoping I did a great job. I think I did, right? We believe in me. Okay. I'm just mixing color right now on my palette that is hopefully going to be like a soft turquoisey kind of color. Soft turquoise is what we're going for, and we're gonna start with that pretty much all over, and then once we have that lovely base, then I'm going to attempt to paint in some trees, make a nice lovely painting here. Just a nice landscape kind of painting is what I'm going for, hopefully, because I like a good landscape painting. Should I have done this with oils? Potentially should have done this with oils. I started like sitting at my table here being like, I want this to be in oils. And then I was like, oh yeah, my YouTube is supposed to be me trying to do gouache paintings. So immediately had to change gears. And that's okay. That's okay. We can change gears. And now we're going to try to draw in some distant trees and then some closer trees. And then hopefully we can make a kind of thing happen here. With some distant trees. Got some distant trees. See, they start off kind of light, and then as you get closer to the foreground, they get darker. So that's the idea here, is that they're going to get progressively darker as they get closer to the front. Like such. Hoping for a little bit more consistency, and there we go, that's better. I want this to be like a nice point on my brush. There we go. Because we're gonna come in and draw some leaves on it. So we gotta have something to go off of, right? Go. Just a little suggestion of things. Clearly I need more water. And that's okay. We're gonna just try really hard to do this so that it looks good. And then we'll add in the base at the bottom here, which is going to hopefully be a very beautiful autumn color. I'm going for like a nice autumn kind of vibe. Sorry if you guys heard that. That was my cat unplugging my keyboard. She's good like that. Takes care of me. Make sure my keyboard is not plugged in. Very important stuff. There we go. Nice big thick boy in the front. Gotta make sure it's nice and dark. We'll have another one, I think, go over here. Keep with the like growing that way kind of vibes here. I don't know why. I think that's gonna look cool. There we go. And I think one more tree off to the side here. Do it. There we go. Okay, maybe a few more little branches that can just disappear and come off the side here. Have a few extras. I did not mean for that to be like exactly the same place as this, but that's okay. We'll just have one growing off of this way. And just kind of mess with it. Just kind of do a whole bunch of things. That's the idea here. Bunch of branches just growing out and doing what they do. I know that doing branches took me a while to like figure out how to make them look not just like they were either going straight out or like straight up, because like it can be hard to like learn how to paint branches, even though you wouldn't think it is, but it can be. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of looking at trees. Sometimes you could just take an entire day where you're just like deciding, I'm gonna look at trees today. And I think that's a great idea. I think you should absolutely have a day where you're just like, I'm gonna look at a tree today. I'm just gonna look at trees. That's my plan for the day, looking at trees. All right. Just cleaning my brush a little bit. And then I'm going to go into kind of like a yellow ochre-y kind of color. And then hopefully I can have some dabbles that will look like leaves. Over top of these branches that'll just give like subtle hints to like autumn. There will be more than subtle hints later. Maybe I will add the darker orangey color up there as well. I don't know. Have not yet decided. Because the orange leaves have to come from somewhere, right? Theoretically. Let's get a little bit of that red in there. Trying to make an orange kind of color. Just to kind of hang out some of these areas. I could just change this one entirely. Like that. And change this one over here entirely. I think that's a good idea. There we go. Just little outbursts of this orange color, I think will just make it feel like it makes more sense when we do it on the bottom. Because now, actually, it's got to be like more white. I don't know if I can get a white out of this, but we'll try. I want to go from like a pastel to like more intense because it's supposed to be like foggy. And I'll subtly grab some more. And there's just a little bit more color now. I don't want it to be like a perfect smooth transition, but I also kind of want it to be a perfect smooth transition. I'm just gonna get progressively darker as we get up to the foreground here. These are all supposed to be leaves that have just fallen. And that's why I'm like dabbing when I'm doing this to try to give it that like, I don't know, mottled look. I'm gonna switch to a slightly bigger brush here because now we need to cover more area. And the leaves should be bigger. There, oh, that actually looks pretty good. That doesn't look too bad at all. The transition's pretty smooth. I'm gonna use a little bit more of this through here, just to give it a little bit more oomph. I think I almost dislike the yellow, but I think what I'm gonna do is actually clean my brush and go back into the yellow that is just yellow, not orange. And then do little like highlighted ones through here so that there's just like just a little bit of like some variation, and bringing that yellow back down here. So it's not just all that bright red, orange kind of color. I do like it though. I very much like that color. I think that is bringing a lot of beauty into this, because it's a very pretty color. I might just try to subtly incorporate more of that orangey kind of color up here. I do still want it to be yellow, but like maybe just less yellow. We're just gonna model the crap out of everything here. Just make it all one muddy color and like have very subtle variations that are like hard to see because we're just kind of dotting everything on. Dotting it all on. That looks better. There's more like variations in each individual section, but there's like less variation, I guess, overall, because it's more unified. Right. It's better. So that like the yellow makes sense, but so does the red. Like everything just kind of makes sense with each other. Just a little bit over there. Just kind of hang it out. I think that looks good. And just modeling a little bit of yellow in there. I think that's really, really nice. Really soft, really smooth, really like subtle coloring, which is what I wanted. I wanted to be very, very subtle in its coloring. Using words. Big words are hard. Coloring. There's so many letters in coloring. I'm just trying to clean my brush a little bit because I wanted to try to add back some of the maybe not the green, but like the light blue for the trees. I feel like those have pretty much all disappeared. So I'm just gonna try to add back in just like a little bit of them to kind of add to the forest vibe. Just slight forest vibes, what we're going for here. Yeah, that's better. I don't want them all to be like the same width or the same color. Like I want some variability in everything that's happening here in the background. Because some things can be closer, but also be thin. And then some things can be farther, but also be thick. Like It's one of those things about a forest, is that like it's highly variable. It's highly, highly variable as to what everything is happening in a forest. Some of these branches are gonna like go in between and behind, and because it's a forest and forests do that. That is a little bit better, but I wanted there to be like a vague path, kind of, that things were happening. Actually, I kind of want to destroy that a little bit, and I want that one of these blue trees here, this one in particular, I want to make bigger. I want to make him come out into the foreground just a little bit more. That's how easy it is to just make him in the foreground. Now you big tree. Big tree. Yeah, I just wanted that tree to be more like presentable. Presentable, I don't know. More there. I wanted it more there. I'm gonna see about maybe adding just a little bit of some greenery to the side that is like some like subtle like moss growing in here that is like in the distance, very distance. Again, for like variability reasons, just try to like add some like different things, different colors through here. There we go. You can't see anything, but I can, and that's important, is that I can. I would now like to reveal the design we have in the background. The design we have in the background is a Mannerism design that I found online. Oh, and now look at how beautiful that is. It may or may not be upside down. I may have just realized that I was supposed to paint it the other way around, but that's fine. I kind of like it the way it is. This is beautiful. That turned out so good. I'm very, very pleased with that design. I really like this. I may do more. If you would like more of these kind of modernist mannerisms kind of paintings, let me know and I will do more of them, but that was really fun. I don't know what I'll do in the middle, or if we'll do not something in the middle. Who knows? Who knows how this goes, because it can go any number of ways, because it's art. So thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did. And I will see you guys next month with more paintings, because that is what we do. We paint here. All right. Remember that you are loved, you deserve to be loved, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.